We are part of a 18-year-old Jewish-Palestinian living room dialogue preparing for our 226th meeting on the San Francisco Peninsula. And in 1989, those Beyond War awardees that you just saw on the screen, two of them inspired us to begin this work. One was Neve Shalom Wahada Salam, Oasis of Peace, where Muslims, Christians, and Jews live together and learn together in the Holy Land. The other was Koinonia, Southern Africa, where blacks and whites ate together and shared their stories together, sometimes in the public and at risk to their lives. And it is this story experience that we find moves life forward, that an enemy is one whose story we have not heard.
So given that background and participating in a conference that we held, that the foundation held, bringing Israelis and Palestinians together, we were moved to start this living room dialogue group at our own house. We didn't know how long it would last. We didn't know what it would turn into, and that was 18 or 19 years ago. And it's just grown and evolved on its own. I have to say that Walt Hayes, who's here, was our lion tamer in the beginning, helping us facilitate. Right. So after we deepened and learned about the dialogue process, we began to go out into the public, and then we began to go into high schools and on college campuses to help with this dialogue process and telling our personal narratives. That eventually led into having a 5-year-long peace camp, Jews and Palestinians who came together at a camp outside of Yosemite National Park. And towards the end of the camp, we realized that we had brought more than 260 people from Israel and Palestine, representing 50 different cities over there from Israel and Palestine. Following that, we realized that we were getting a lot of requests for help in starting dialogues around the country, and we made some documentaries to help people. So we made 4 different documentaries that we have sent around to people as they have requested them for free of charge. And they have gone to more than 5,000 individuals who represent 1,900 different institutions in 12,000 cities, 1,200 cities, and we need each other, 1,200 cities, all 50 states and 76 countries around the world. So it tells us that this dialogue process, learning how to listen and how to build relationships, is certainly something that people need and are responsive to. And we've done a couple of other interesting things where we've gone to conferences around the country where professionals come together, like social studies teachers, psychiatrists, psychologists, and we've had a booth at those places and had interfaith with the participants there to talk about dialogue and listening and change. And probably the most exciting one was in Chicago, where there were 40,000 Muslims, and they gave us the best spot with our booth right in the center of the lobby. So that was quite an experience. And the most recent thing that we've done, we were invited to come to Jos, Nigeria this past October, where we facilitated a weekend seminar for 200 young Christian and Muslim adults, where they are heavily in conflict these days. So these are all skills that we were able to take as a result of our many years of working in the Foundation for Global Community, Creative Initiative, and all the things that they have taught us that we have perpetuated and spread.
From the earliest times, from 1996, we made it our purpose to tell these stories globally, so we established a website right away. And because it was our experience also that people become the stories they hear and the stories they tell. So part of it is doing it, the other is telling the story. So we were able, through the website, to pass on the tools and best practices and also inspire people around the planet. So these traditions of the foundation and the deep spiritual insights and the sense of personal responsibility that came to us from this foundation could be moved around the planet. And because of the website, we never sought the media. The news media always found us. And through radio, television, newspapers, magazines, NBC, ABC, BBC World News, Voice of America, it goes on and on. They all came to the dialogue and treated it as if it were sacred and never spoiled the story. From all these hard-won personal relationships, we have sustained them, hard-won, one at a time, soul by soul. And so we now have an email communication circle of over 4,000 individuals deeply interested on all the continents in 70 different nations. We sustain these relationships, and through them is the creativity that will move this tradition of the foundation around the planet. And it is alive, and I think it is alive eternally.
Yeah, so we just, together, we want to thank the foundation for helping us be able to perpetuate these teachings that we hold dear, our oneness. When we were in Nigeria, we had a ceremony at the end where we had them pin each other with an earth pin. And so we're always talking about we are one, and that the planet is the myth we're saving now. And so we are forever grateful for the support and the love and attention we've received so that we could carry on this work.
So Dwayne and the speakers, people can love, and they will love once they come together and see that they're human and equal, and that the soul's oldest memory is of union, and the soul's deepest longing is for reunion. And I think that can be our faith.